Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. Hope you all are well. Start of a new week. Amen. Yes, yes, yes. Countdown to New Orleans. Yes, the Queen will be out of here at the end of the week, going to New Orleans to share in a very special moment vacation with my brother and his wife. God is good. Thank you so much. I have many updates to bring to you, stories, and I will go live later pertaining to the viral video of Summer Wells in church. I will also be bringing you commentary from the pastor of that church. The pastor has now spoken, and I will bring you that said information a little bit later. So thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you all so much for joining me. I've got an update pertaining to the Surfside condo. CNN is the source. Death toll in Surfside condo building collapse reaches 94. The death toll has reached 94 as recovery operations at the Surfside condo collapse site continue. Miami-Dade Mayor Levine Cava said to Monday morning news conference. Of the 94 victims, 83 have been identified and 80 families of the deceased have been notified, according to Levine Cava. The mayor said 22 people remain potentially unaccounted for, while 222 have been accounted for. The process of making identifications has become more difficult as time goes on, she said. We must rely heavily on the work of the medical examiner's office to identify human remains. The process is very methodical and it's careful, and it does take time. She said there may be people who are deceased who remain on the unaccounted list until a positive identification has been made. The numbers are fluid and will continue to change, she said. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett said Monday that debris removal teams at Champlain Tower South have reached the parking lot in several locations and have started pulling out vehicles. Those vehicles are mostly terribly damaged, evidencing the violence of the collapse, Burkett said. One search team found a business card identifying a person as an artist, he said. As a result of that clue they began looking around and found paintings in the area that were able to be pulled out of the rubble and reserved for the family, he said. Officials will begin implementing tighter security measures so that only authorized personnel will be allowed at the collapse site, Burkett said. It is the right thing to do because it is obvious that this has become more than a collapsed building site. It's a holy site, he said. Okay. And it's basically just going on to tell you what's been going on with the site. I'm not going to continue into the article because it's a bit winded, but know that the collapse has unfolded now, 94 victims, and they're still working to identify a few of those said people. It's just really interesting to see that once they demolished the building, obviously easier to get those said people out, which I thought would be harder only because more of the building is sitting on top of what was already there. But nonetheless, 94 people have been retrieved, total count, and 83 have been identified, and 80 families of the deceased have been notified. And there are 22 people remaining unaccounted for. That is said information. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. This is a daunting task for these people involved, and I don't think people really think about all the people involved. There are the families grieving, the first responders, the people left behind who don't have a place to stay now, the medical examiner who has to identify each person, identify the cause of death, make a cause of death. Then there's the person who has to go out and find next of kin. There are no words for this, what has happened in Florida. Just as worse as what happened in 9/11. Because people really don't think about what it will entail thereafter the collapse of a building, destruction of a property, where there are lives lost. Somebody has to do the gritty work of going in to retrieve bodies, autopsies, notifications, the first responders who have to deal with going in every day. As I state, there are no words. So prayers for the families, the first responders, the medical examiner, plural, other medical examiners, other agencies that came in with people to help out. Foreign groups came in from Israeli. Israel, excuse me. They came in an Israeli group. So prayers to all of them. They're safe return. They went back home yesterday. So thank those who did come from different parts of the United States and abroad to aid in retrieving the said people out of the rubble. God bless everyone involved with this horrific event that has transpired in Surfside, Florida. My next, CNN is the source in case you needed verification for that. I've got several crazy whack stories. Lord have mercy. It just goes on and on. The mayhem that goes on and foolishness in our country. The next story is pertaining to a New Jersey woman who was found dead here in Tennessee. There was an Amber Alert put out for her child in New Jersey, in Rahway. And now we have come to find out she was dumped here, killed here, possibly killed here, but her child is safe. I will bring you the said information pertaining to this story. This is CBS New York Team, 2:10 and 55. Just a second. Let me get this story up if I can get it pulled up.
Daughter's remains have been found. The case started as an Amber Alert on Friday when the woman and her toddler son were abducted in Rahway. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from outside the Union County Prosecutor's Office in Elizabeth. Christina?
Well, Cindy, the victim's family was hopeful Yasmin would return home safely after her 2-year-old son Sebastian was found unharmed in Tennessee. But late last night, the family learned the little boy's father had confessed to hiding her body. Friends and family gathered inside the Reformed Church of Highland Park Saturday, praying for the safe return of 24-year-old Yasmin Uar. Their worst fears confirmed hours later when they learned her body had been found.
Typical textbook case of domestic violence. Progressively got worse, and it's his words ending.
Friends say the boy's father, Tyler Rios of Highland Park, had a history of abusing Yasmin and that she had a restraining order against him. He allegedly abducted her and their 2-year-old son Sebastian from Rahway, triggering this Amber Alert Friday. Investigators finally caught and arrested Rios early Saturday in Monterey, Tennessee. They found 2-year-old Sebastian unharmed, but Yasmin remained missing. Late Saturday night, officers told the family Rios finally confessed, telling detectives where he hid her body. Her remains were found in a wooded area in Tennessee. And the little boy's father, Tyler Rios, remains in police custody in Tennessee. He is awaiting to be extradited back here to Union County, where he will be facing criminal charges. We're live from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you.
Okay, that's the said information coming out of Tennessee/New Jersey. As this article's news briefing goes, the lady was in a domestic situation with her baby's father. He kidnapped she and the child, brought them to Tennessee. He killed her, dumped her, and left the child unharmed. He is now in a jail in Tennessee awaiting extradition back to Rahway, New Jersey to stand account for the said charges. I will read you the said information. CBS 2:10 and 55 is the source. A missing mother from Rahway, New Jersey was found dead after an Amber Alert for her son was canceled. Yasmin Uar's mother told CBS 2 late Saturday night that her daughter's body was found in Tennessee. She said Tyler Rios, 27, he appears to be either, I don't know if he's actually African-American descent or foreign islander, but he has dark complexion, in case you go in the article and wonder. The father, Uar's son, told police where he hid her body. The Union County Prosecutor's Office confirmed Uar's death Sunday. On Friday, New Jersey State Police issued an Amber Alert for 2-year-old Sebastian Rios after he did not show up for the daycare and Uar did not arrive for her scheduled shift at work. Rios of Highland Park, New Jersey, allegedly abducted UR and Sebastian. The father and son were found in Monterey, Tennessee, early Saturday, about 15 hours after police issued the Amber Alert. Sebastian was unharmed. UR's remains were later found in a nearby wooded area. Rios is charged with first-degree kidnapping for allegedly abducting the boy. Charges connected to UR's death are pending against him, prosecutors said. Friends of UR Rios had a history of abusing her and that she had a restraining order against him. Rios remains in custody in Tennessee and is awaiting extradition back to New Jersey. The said information is by CBS News 1055, New York. If you need a source. This is ridiculous. And yes, I hear the comments below. What's going on in Tennessee? What's going on here is what's going on everywhere in America and abroad. People are ill and they're evil and they have evil intent and they do not mean you well. Everybody is not your friend. She obviously had problems with this man for some time and had a child by him and continued to possibly stay in a relationship. And at some point, possibly left. I don't know all the details. And nonetheless, he probably realized she was not conforming to what he thought she should, which is be involved with him. So he decided to kidnap she and the child, kill her, and spare the child. Very cruel. Dumped her here in Tennessee. Why did he come here? That's the question number one. What was here in Tennessee to come here and bring her here and the boy here? And remember, I told you how vast the land is. The land's vast all over the United States. Now, I told you you could dump a body anywhere in Tennessee. If this has happened to be West Tennessee, the land is flatter in West Tennessee than East Tennessee. Here we have rolling mountains, shrubbery, trees. You can be concealed even feet from the road and whatnot. No one would know you're there. But West Tennessee, if Monterey is where I think it is, it's flat. It's flatter. Once you get towards Nashville, the ground is flat, and it goes flat all the way from Nashville to Memphis, for those who did not know that. But it says she was concealed in a wooded area. By the grace of God, she was found. Amen. Amen. He confessed and told the truth because he could have prolonged this and had everyone worrying where the hell she was. But nonetheless, this is a horrific story once again. Somebody being evil, kidnapping a child and a mother, and kill the mother. So now you've left the child without a mother and a father. So you cheated the child of both parents because you are selfish and ignorant. And now a mother has to grieve the loss of her child. And the mother obviously is making way to come here to retrieve the boy child, the grandchild. Very horrific story. Just it's nonstop. But I'm wondering who lives here for him to come here and bring the woman and child here. And I think it's so cruel. No matter where he took the woman and child, the fact that he killed her and he took her all the way to Tennessee. We got enough going on down here. We surely don't need nothing extra. My goodness gracious. Thank you all so much for joining me. CBS 1055 New York News is the source for this said information. The child is alive. Boy child is alive. But the mother is deceased. And the father confessed to murdering her. And he's waiting extradition back to the state of New Jersey. That's my second update. The next update is some craziness out of Georgia. This is a couple weeks old because we're now approaching third week of the month. But I saw this story and I want to bring it to you because it's baffling to me. Very baffling to me. Black Enterprise is the source. This was uploaded July 6th. Black woman arrested after infant was found floating down Chattahoochee River. Cobb County, Georgia. Police charged a woman with concealing the death of another person, a toddler whose body was discovered in the Chattahoochee River. 27-year-old Brianna Cooper of Stone Mountain was arrested on Thursday after she allegedly hit the body of a boy who could have been between 8 months and 3 years old. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported. The body reportedly was dumped in the area of the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area on June 26. Cooper made her first court appearance on Friday in Cobb County Magistrate Court, according to 11 Alive News. Cooper's bond was denied, and she has another court hearing July 20th, and that will be next week. Cobb County Police spokesman Sergeant Wayne Delk told the AJC the relationship between Cooper and the toddler has not been confirmed after the police department was tipped off by bystanders who noticed her dumping the body. The Georgia newspaper also obtained a drawing of what the toddler could have looked like. Other reports said the child was found floating downstream during a Cobb County firefighter water training routine on the river. Something jumped on top of my article. Always they're trying to sell stuff. Okay. The child was found floating downstream during a Cobb County firefighter water training routine on the river and Vinings, which is part of the Chattahoochee River, according to 11 Alive. The arrest warrant states that on June 26, between 5 and 5:30, Cooper allegedly tried to hinder the investigators' ability to determine if death involved foul play. The toddler's body was given to Cobb County Medical Examiner's office. I don't know what that means. He tried to hinder the determination if death involved foul play. Lying. Is that what that means? Mercy. There have been no missing child reports in the area, the police department said, according to Law and Crime. That said information is by Black Enterprise. So they haven't determined the relationship between the woman and the child, but the child was found floating during an exercise that was taking place on the water. There was a National River Recreation. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. I'm moving too fast. Trying to see what was going on at the time. Let's see. I'm trying to report that. Hold on. This article just won't give me what I want. Bystanders saw her dump the baby. So that's even more crazy. It's early evening. There are obviously spectators out. And she dumps the baby where people can see her dumping it, which means she's got to be shown enough damn crazy to do it while there are people out. And then it says the child was found floating downstream during a Cobb County firefighter water training routine on the river in Vinings, which is part of the Chattahoochee River. So this crazy nut is dumping a child while there are people watching and at the river doing their thing, and also a firefighter training. I'll wait. And then they can't determine who she is to the child, which I'm going to bring you another source. This is Black Enterprise, because this next information I'm going to bring you is pertaining to people, a neighbor, or somebody who lived next door or something. So my thing is, well, you can't tell the police that, hey, I saw her all the time with this kid. I believe she's the mother. I know that she's the mother. I don't understand. Because now you're saying you don't have a report of a missing child in the area. You can't say who she is to the child. This is very baffling to me. So I'm just starting to really wonder what the hell's going on. Thank the mods on deck. Hey, man. Let me see what else I can find. This story just gets crazier and crazier. I'm just going to read you whatever I can find on it because each story brings something different. This is Law and Crime. This is pertaining to the woman's arrest. Georgia woman has been arrested in connection with the death of a toddler whose body was discovered in Chattahoochee River. Brianna Cooper, 27, was taken into custody later Thursday and charged with one count of concealing the death of another. According to Cobb County jail records, she's currently unindicted on the felony offense, which carries a maximum jail sentence of 10 years in prison. As of now, the relationship between Cooper and the toddler has not been confirmed, Cobb County Police spokesperson Sergeant Wayne Delk said when announcing the arrest. If I get this information, I will recap you on confirmation of who the woman is to the child. I did go in and pull up several articles, and I couldn't find one recent that will give me information pertaining to who she is to the child. According to investigators, the boy was most likely somewhere between 18 months and 3 years old. His corpse may have been in the river for some 5 days before being discovered, according to an arrest warrant cited by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The arrest warrant claims the boy's body was placed in the muddy waters of the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area on June 26, sometime during the late afternoon and early evening that day. Investigators allege Cooper has been inhibiting a determination as to whether the boy's death was a result of violence or abuse. This is getting crazy. Initial reports indicated that police were unsure of the child's gender. On Friday, police released a sketch by Georgia Bureau of Investigation artist Kelly Lawson in an attempt to aid the investigation. In the said caption in this article, the child has little bitty, what we call little Afro puffs. I don't really know what I'm reading because this is crazy to me. For them to even say they don't even know the child's gender. So you mean to tell me a child is in the water, and I know water can deter the damage the body somewhat, of course. But I never heard that you couldn't tell a gender, even with water damage. This is insane to me. Notably, police said there have been no missing child reports in the area, which law enforcement said was odd for a case like this. This remains an active investigation, and investigators continue to work to identify the child's victim and any and all who have information about his death, police told local NBC affiliate. So now I guess he is a boy. The child was discovered by happenstance in the well-known river during late morning on Thursday by firefighters near the Paces Mill Unit boat ramp off Cobb Parkway. The Cobb County fire crew in question was beginning training and filming a water safety video when they discovered the remains of the toddler. Now, this is what's interesting. They're saying that bystanders saw this done late evening, and the child wasn't discovered until late morning on Thursday. So that means what? They watched her put the baby in the water and didn't even try to stop her or follow her in her car. Was she on foot, bicycle, radio flyer, what? See, I'm getting irritated now. Because you're telling me you saw her put the baby in the water. So what are we talking? 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 yards. Across the river, what? Man, this is stupid. According to police, though, the relationship between the accused and the victim is still not a matter of public record. The community provided tips that led, authorities to arresting and charging Cooper. That's what led us to our suspect, Delk alleged. On Friday morning, Cooper made her first appearance in Cobb County Magistrate Court, where she was denied bond on the basis that she may be a public danger. Her next court hearing is slated for July 20th. The accused concealed the death of the victim by placing the victim in the Chattahoochee River in the National Recreation Area, Cobb County Magistrate Judge Don Hicks said during the proceedings. Neighbors of the defendant told WXIA they are worried about the impact the case is having on her family. I reached out to her and I asked if she's okay. Longtime next-door neighbor Cheryl Robinson told the television station. Robinson said, referring to Cooper's mother, first she said yes, and then she said no, I'm not. I just can't imagine, what she might be going through and how it's affecting the family. I just was devastated to know that everyone was right next door, Robinson added when discussing the known and the grisly details of the investigation. My heart goes out over there. It's just unimaginable. So this is even more confusing. You live next door. They're confused at who's the woman is to the child. They act like they couldn't identify if the child was a male or a female. And you've been talking to a family member, this Miss Robinson. Let me reread this. I reached out to her and asked if she's okay. Longtime next-door neighbor Cheryl Robinson told the television station. Robinson said, referring to Cooper's mother, first she said yes, and then she said, no, I'm not. I just can't imagine, what she might be going through and how it's affecting the family. So let me help. Oh, God. I can't keep talking about this kind of stuff because it's just ignorant. So the police, detectives, never got a report that a child was missing, stolen, abducted. Yet this lady is saying she feels sorry for the family, which means there's other people living in the house. So you all didn't notice the baby gone? I'll wait. I'm getting a headache. You see, this is why I always tell you all to listen to what's been said in the beginning. because your answers are always at the beginning of a story. So here comes the neighbor, worried about this heifer and what the family going through. Well, what you should have been asking was, why the family ain't filled out a missing persons report for the little boy? You so damn concerned? Yeah, I said it. And please, come for the queen, because I'm feeling some type of way today. What the hell? See, I keep trying to tell you all, it's the same. Every story is the same. Everybody wants to talk after the fact. I got something I want to tell y'all. I got something I want to say about Shamiqua and Letitia and Pookie and Billy Bob and Ray Ray. And why was there no police report, Amber Alert for the baby? I'll wait. Then they said the child been there for at least 5 days. Guesstimate. Guesstimation. Assumption. Stay woke. 5 days. Murky water. Can't decide who the girl is to the child. Couldn't decide if the child was a boy or a girl. No Amber Alert, no police report of a missing baby. And here comes the neighbor talking to the news, worrying about the family and the girl, baby mama. What you worry about that baby that was laying in that damn water for 5 days? What you worry about him? Because them same people you so concerned with didn't go file a report that the baby was missing. So let's go there. What did she tell her family where the baby was? I'll wait. Now wait for somebody to come run and try to explain to me that the articles misspoke this said information. I'm looking forward to your commentary. That's really not what they meant to say. They got it mixed up. Yeah. It's always the news reporter got it mixed up, not the people involved. They ain't mixed up. Okay. Oh my goodness. I can't. That's the said information coming out of Georgia. For those of you who are familiar with Atlanta metro area, Stone Mountain, suburb outside of Atlanta, Georgia, law and crime is the source for that said information. I've just had bad enough. I just don't understand what the hell's going on. Busy day in these southern parts. It looks that way. Now, naturally, there is no bond for her. This is by Channel 46 CBS News pertaining to this lady, female rather. Trying to get this video to play. Hold on, you guys. Well, I guess they don't want to play. Hold on.
His body was pulled from the Chattahoochee River.
And tonight, a judge told a suspect that she is a danger to people and the community. CBS 46's Sierra Cummings is live for us tonight.
And Sierra, what did you learn about the suspect's connection to this child?
You know, we're still working to learn that as of right now, Brianna Cooper is not eligible for bond, but a judge did set another bond hearing for July 20th. And because she's only charged with concealing this toddler's death, so many answers remain unclear, including her relationship to this child.
Do you have an attorney?
Not yet. I'm seeking one, but I haven't had phone privileges to find one.
Okay.
It's one of the only times Brianna Cooper spoke in her first appearance Friday night. A Cobb County judge told her no bond would be granted because she's a danger to people in the community.
This is not a hearing where we will be presenting any additional, where any additional evidence will be presented as to whether or not there will be any additional evidence. I have no direct knowledge.
Warrants allege Cooper put the toddler's body in the Chattahoochee River's recreation area June 26. 5 days later, in the same spot, the fire department found the young boy floating. The 27-year-old's connection to the child is still unconfirmed. We don't know who the child is. It hasn't been identified to us. A GBI sketch artist was able to draw this picture, but so far, no local missing persons reports match.
I know that mama upset, whoever baby that is. But she ought to know her baby missing.
Cooper's
Thank
arrest
you.
left her neighbors stunned.
You know, they keep to themselves and they're very nice. I'm just in disbelief. I hope that's not the
They
case.
keep to themselves.
And Cobb County Police dedicated a special tip line. They've already gotten hundreds of tips, but if you know anything, you're asked to call. We've put that number on CBS46.com. I'm in Cobb County. I'm Sierra Cummings, CBS 46 News.
Sierra, thank you.
That's Channel 46 CBS News. If you need confirmation for that video, you can't make this stuff up. Excuse my manners, because you all know I'm capable to get crunk about them children. Okay, Susie Mae, sitting in your car, and don't mind me, ma'am. I'm the queen, and I keeps it 100 over here. I'm in disbelief. Really? I'm in disbelief too. And I don't live down there. I'm in disbelief that ain't nobody reported the baby missing. I'll wait. Because it's now, what's today's date? The 12th? And I don't have nothing in the queue to tell me you all have decided who the hell the baby is or who she is to the baby. If she's indeed the mama. And they quiet. I bet they are. They probably checked around in rows up in that house. Since y'all love to believe in the Illuminati and all that. Cloaks and daggers. Nobody really wants to accept the fact people kill their children. People kill children they take care of, babysit. It's always a Illuminati, a sacrifice, and all type of shenanigans. No, honey, it's the age old. I'm tired of looking at this baby. I don't want this baby. I don't care for the baby daddy. I don't care for the baby mama. I'm mad at the baby mama. I'm mad at the baby daddy. I don't want to be bothered. This baby won't quit crying, hollering, screaming. I can't go nowhere. I can't do nothing. No cloaks and dagger. No strangers. No human trafficking. No Illuminati. No sacrifice. No witch hunt. Warlocks. Just, I'm fed up and I won't be bothered. That part. Thank you all for joining me in the chat. CBS 46 is the source. As I was saying, a judge on Friday again denied bond for the woman charged with concealing the death after a child was found floating in the Chattahoochee River on Thursday. The judge told Brianna Cooper, 27, of Stone Mountain, that bond is denied because her warrant lists no bond due to danger to people and community. Cooper told the judge she had not yet retained an attorney because she's had no phone privileges. A separate bond hearing is set for July 20th, which is next week. Cobb police have released a composite sketch of the boy found Thursday in the Chattahoochee River in hopes of gathering information that will help them identify the child. Anyone with information should call the tip line at 770-499-4111 or email Cobb Police Crime Tips at cobbcounty.org. One day after the body of a young child was found floating in the Chattahoochee River, police have made an arrest, and Brianna Cooper of Stone Mountain faces one felony count of concealing the death of another. She is currently in the Cobb County Jail with no bond. According to the Cobb County Police Department, the relationship between Cooper and the toddler has not been confirmed. Cobb firefighters discovered the body near Paces Mill Park, near the overpass of Cobb Parkway, around 10:30 a.m. Cobb County Police were called out and detectives got to work combing the area for evidence. Police said it appears the child had been in the water for a couple of days. They will now work to identify the boy and figure out what happened. The Cobb County medical examiner took jurisdiction of the body. Police believe the child is between the ages of 1 and 3. He was fully clothed when he was found in the water. At this point, we don't know exactly whether the child was put in the water or fell into the water or how this happened, said Cobb County Police Sergeant Wayne Delk. Police said it's likely the child may be missing from a location north of Cobb County. You can view the criminal warrant below. And in this shows the criminal warrant filed against Miss Goofball. CBS 46 is the source. Just goofy. She's sitting up here in this little room telling the judge she hasn't retained an attorney because she hasn't had phone privileges. Well, you better go ahead and give her phone privileges before that's used against you in the court of law that you denied her right to make a phone call. Y'all know the rules. Give that help for her phone call. Well, she found a way, a technicality to ease her way up out that jail. But as you see, the seriousness of the crime, the judge has said she's a danger to society, and they're letting her stay in there. Her cannot come outside to play. So, as I state, boy child found in the water. Allegedly, witnesses saw her put the child in the water. The child went afloating. Now they don't know where he came from, which direction. But some firefighters found him. They were doing a drill, water drill. Murky water is an understatement. The water is brown. Shut up, Queen. Shut up, Queen. Just shut up. Water brown. Baby brown. Sickening. Now nobody knows who she is in her relation to the child. Now we got people giving interviews stating the family was quiet. Never expected this. I'm in disbelief. One neighbor reaching out to check on her, see how she's doing. Yet the same people, as I stated, you check it on, they didn't report the child missing. So now we have to ask ourselves, who is the baby? Who is the baby to her? And how did they identify her as the suspect that drowned the baby, dumped the baby? We know that baby ain't fell nowhere, because if the baby had fell in the water, this goofy ass chick would have called 911, wouldn't she? Say, hey, my baby fell in the water. Hey, the baby I'm keeping fell in the water. I need help. That baby ain't fell nowhere. You put him in there or you deliberately drowned him. Don't play with me, because I'm not no dodo bird. Drown that baby. And you were stupid enough to do it where somebody saw you. The catch is why nobody could have got to you in time to beat you to sleep. So you could have been laying over in that water with that baby. I said that. Because you wouldn't have got no rest from the queen if these fat knees could have got anywhere near you. Your car. It'd been a sad day in Georgia. It would not have been no midnight train. No, ma'am. And that's another thing. How far were the people who saw her dump the baby? Yeah, everybody weird. Ain't you noticed that with all the stories? Everybody comes in afterwards. They were nice. They were this. Which, I ain't trying to be mean to these people. Because naturally, the lady sitting in the car giving the interview, she probably don't know nothing about the people no more than just speaking to them, saying hello. The problem I have is if indeed this is her child, they're suspecting the child been missing for days. So why aren't the people living in the house filing a Amber Alert, or not an Amber Alert, but a missing persons report for the baby? This is where it's goofier. Then you don't know who she is to the kid. Okay, well, the house you went to obviously had more people staying there, I'm assuming. Why didn't anybody ask? Where is your baby? Crazy. That's my said information coming out of Georgia pertaining to this female who has been arrested on concealment of a child. And I'd like to know what they mean by interfering. Does that mean she didn't try to give information, or she was lying about how the child got in the water? Oh, Lordy. Next information is, once again, good old Tennessee. We're a hot box right now down here. 63 joining me. Thank you so very much. Join me live later. When I get off of here, I'm going to rest, and I'm coming back with an update pertaining to Summer Wells. Most of you have seen or heard of the viral video of her in church. Her pastor has spoken. I will bring you a source and the news article pertaining to the pastor now speaking, and we all can conclude 9 times out of 10 he's only speaking because you've been digging in dresser drawers and released that video of Summer in church. Now the pastor has decided to give his commentary, and I'll bring you that information later. The next source is Fox 17 Nashville. 18 arrested, including pastor, in Middle Tennessee human trafficking operation, TBI says. Oh, Lordy. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation agents said 18 men, including the Tennessee National Guard chaplain and local pastor, have been arrested in a human trafficking operation in Middle Tennessee last week. The two-day operation in Spring Hill yielded 18 men being arrested on various charges linked to fake online sex ad. Investigators said the undercover operation started June 8th and focused on addressing human trafficking in Middle Tennessee. Authorities placed several decoy advertisements on websites known to be linked to prostitution and commercial sex cases. Investigators were hoping to identify and recover possible victims of sex trafficking and sought to identify those seeking sexual acts with minors. As a result of the operation, authorities arrested 18 men and booked them into the Maury County Jail. The investigation remains ongoing with additional charges pending. One of those arrested includes Matthew Brewer, who is listed online as a pastor in Centerville. Spring Hill police also confirmed to Fox 17 News that Brewer is a chaplain and major in the Tennessee National Guard. This is a statement released by the National Guard. And he is a Caucasian male. They show his photo underneath this said statement from the National Guard. The Tennessee Military Department is aware of the recent arrest of a Tennessee National Guardsman and are fully supporting and assisting civil law enforcement as they conduct their investigation. The charges made in this incident do not reflect or meet the standards of the Tennessee National Guard or the Army values. Tennessee National Guard. These are the suspects. If I was visual, I would have shown you the pictures, but I'm not visual. But you can pull up the article. It is said information. It's public. You'll see all 18 men in the identifying photographs that have been arrested in this TBI sting. Georgie, 25, Clarksville, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Marvin Sparkman, 29, Columbia, Tennessee, solicitation of a minor. Stephen McCandless, 26, Colioca, Tennessee, solicitation of a minor. Ketan Kumar Patel, well, we know he's an Indian, 53, Columbia, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Ivan Ashley, 49, Dania, Florida, patronizing prostitution from a minor. David Christopher May, 26, Fayetteville, Tennessee, solicitation of a minor. Andrew Mayung Kim, 38, Franklin, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Bryce Lawson, 23, Charles, Louisiana, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Jeremiah McSpadden, 36, Spring Hill, Tennessee, solicitation of a minor. Brian Mitchell, 50, Thompson Station, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Nabi Rahman, 33, Nashville, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Patrick Harris, 32, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Matthew Brewer, 47, Centerville, Tennessee, solicitation of a minor. Suleiman Musa Osman, 38, Chattanooga, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Juan Gabriel Hernandez Ufracio, 36, Huntsville, Alabama, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Pablo Godinez Cervantes, 51, Columbia, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Hoiji Wong, 32, Brentwood, Tennessee, patronizing prostitution from a minor. Luis Diaz Mendez, 27, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, patronizing prostitution from a minor. The TBI Human Trafficking Unit, the Spring Hill Police Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Office of 22nd District Attorney General Brent Cooper assisted in the investigation. I just read you the said names of 18 men arrested for solicitation and patronizing prostitution from a minor of the said charges. One of these men arrested happens to be a member of the National Guard and also a chaplain. Hold on one second. Get this correct. Hold on. He is Tennessee National Guard chaplain and also a local pastor. And this human trafficking ring took place in Middle Tennessee last week. It was a 2-day operation in Spring Hill. For those of you who are familiar with the general Nashville area, Middle Tennessee area, 18 men were arrested and linked to a fake online sex ad that the TBI had orchestrated to get men to follow through, and some dodo birds did. The sick part is that it was of a minor. I believe the fake host was a 16-year-old fake profile, and they fell for it. And all 18 men have been arrested and booked into the Maury County Jail. The investigation remains ongoing with additional charges pending. And the sad part is Matthew Brewer, who is listed online as a pastor in Centerville, is one of the men who is a chaplain and a major in the Tennessee National Guard. Well, you have really set an example for yourself as a military man and a pastor, and he's a nice-looking Caucasian man, and he's a joke, just like the other 17 buffoons that got arrested. This is the sad information coming out of Tennessee. If you need verification for the storyline, Fox 17 is the source. I've brought you several updates pertaining to the condo in Surfside. The count is at 94 decedents. I brought you a story of a baby found dumped in the Chattahoochee River, and a woman has been arrested. A female has been arrested in connection to concealing the body. I brought you information from a woman and child that were kidnapped out of Rahway, New Jersey. And the child was found safe here in Tennessee, but the mother was murdered by the baby daddy. He kidnapped both and brought them here to Tennessee, and he murdered the woman and discarded her in the wooded area. He has now confessed to the murder, kidnapping, and he is in a Tennessee jail awaiting extradition to a suburb outside of Rahway, New Jersey. And then I brought you this mess here. 18 clowns arrested for solicitation of a minor, a fake online ad, and they fell for it. And they are currently in jail. I'm sure they'll give them a bond, and I'm sure the bond won't be much. Most of them are probably out of jail. Woo! That's a lot. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. The Queen is on her way to New Orleans this week. God is good. Thank you. I cannot wait to get out of here. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I cannot wait to get out of here. I will be at the airport before, honey, probably before the doors open. I'm ready to go. Thank you all so much for joining me. I want to say something. I'll try to choose my words as carefully as possible. On this channel, I bring my commentary, and it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's fact. It doesn't mean it's a lie. It's just my opinion. And I am an avid fan of trying to live halfway right and fan of doing right by children and adults as well. We all are going to fall short, but there are certain things you just don't do, and that's harm a child. Solicitation, rape, child molestation, touching, groping, penetration, same thing with an adult. It is wrong, it is foul, it's vile to ever harm another human being. They have not done anything to you. I feel for people who are missing. I know that most people who are missing are not missing because they wanted to go missing. They are missing because of another two-legged creature. Thank you, Nadal. They're missing because somebody no longer deemed them valuable, worthy of life. And they took them out. But I want to say something just from things I've noticed being on the YT 2 years this month. It's my anniversary of being on YouTube, and almost a year in partnership with YouTube. You see, and I want you all to listen very carefully what I'm saying to you, because a lot of things that go on in these stories you don't know about because you're not going to know because people don't tell you everything. But I'm going to tell you because I've had personal information and personal things that I've witnessed in the stories that I bring to you and stories that you see on the news and stories you see on the YT social media. You see, I don't think everybody is as concerned as they say they are about the people in the story that they are crying about. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Now, some of you are going to ask me, well, Angela, where are you going with this? Well, I want you to read between the lines. That sometimes the people who say, hey, I got a story. I want to tell you about my kid, my sister, my brother. He's missing. She's missing. They were hurt. They was this. This happened to them. You see, sometimes people will come to you or others, allegedly in good faith, that they need your help. I want you to get the word out. I want you to tell people what happened to my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. And I'm sure many people have experienced this, even people who are in a professional arena such as the news, the newspaper, radio, because I am not in any of those avenues. But nonetheless, the people will appear to be wanting help for their loved one who is either missing and or hurt or no longer living. But what you will find in talking to them, they don't follow through, which leads me to believe you don't care or you changed your mind. So if you changed your mind, the respectful thing to do is to tell the said party that you've reached out to or they reached out to you, you no longer want to engage. Don't have people sitting by the wayside trying to figure you out, figure out the story, because that's not their job. And as one old lady once said to me when she was talking about her own child, I didn't send for you. Lord, I love that statement. I didn't send for you. So you see, whether you were sent for or you went willingly trying to get the 411, once approached, keep it real. Because I'm seeing an issue of people not following through with stories that they are acting as if they care about, but then they fall off, leaving people to the wayside to figure it out on their own. And that's not the outsider's job. Because if you went looking for help, then you should engage properly with the said person or persons. If you no longer want their help, then be a man or woman to say, we no longer need your help. We no longer need your services. And that is something I've witnessed with 2 cases that I've discussed on this channel. And I proceed with the storyline regardless. You don't call me back. You don't respond. I'm going to rock anyway. I'm going to get the word out about your loved one anyway. I don't take it personal. What I say to myself is, I'm going to give you a pass that you're going through something before I judge you harshly. And if I never hear from you again, that's cool too. But I'm speaking from my own personal experiences and things I'm seeing as of late. If you no longer want to engage, please let the parties know, because it's disrespectful to the person that you are asking for help, any help that came voluntarily. And it's disrespectful to the person who's needing the story to get out about. Whether they're missing, they were hurt, or they're deceased. Either be about it or keep it moving. And I can say there was a story that made national headlines. And the mother reached out to me because she Googled her child's name and saw my video and said, well, I want you to know the truth of what happened between she and the other party. But the crazy part is she never responded again. After I got her personal information, I set up a time, let her know, call me anytime, woo, 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 never heard nothing. So what I had to ask myself was, why would you reach out to say, hey, I want everybody to know the truth about what happened with this incident, but yet don't follow through? I'm seeing a little trend here as of late that, sometimes it's probably best sometimes to just say no. You don't know people, see. And I think a lot of us think that because something terrible happens to somebody's child or family member, that the people are on the up and up? Not necessarily. Because in the end, you don't know people. You don't know the victim. You don't know the perpetrator. And you don't know the family members of the victim. And it's easy to get blinded by people associated with the victim because you're feeling sorry for the victim. And you're saying to yourself, well, they need our help. They need help. But sometimes, yes, the people related to the victim have ulterior motives. Or they got things they don't want to come out. And maybe you're getting too close to telling something or finding out something, and then they want to halt, which that is their prerogative. But as I state, just keep it real. And I'm just seeing right now, you can't help everybody. And it's really sad, especially when you're dealing with missing people and dead people, missing children, deceased children. Someone's offering help, either say yes or no. Somewhere down the line in your conversation, you're not liking where it's going, just say, I choose not to engage with you, and just keep it real. And that's my message today, because I think a lot of us don't really realize that there's a lot of attitude and emotion in dealing with these stories that we hear on the news with missing children, deceased children, people have been assaulted, hurt. You don't know the people involved in the story. And I tell you that all the time when I bring you a story. You don't know the victim, you don't know the perpetrator, and you don't know the people that's testifying to what is allegedly the truth, the eyewitnesses, the family members. You don't know anybody. And in the end, sadly, everything you hear about a story is hearsay. And it does not matter who is doing the talking. It doesn't matter. It's all hearsay. As we say in the street, bring me a receipt. And sometimes you can't bring a receipt. And that's where the hearsay comes in. He, she did this to me. I'm telling the truth. How do we know? We may never know. We just take your word for it. You're telling us the truth. Join me later for in-depth discussion pertaining to Summer Wells, the viral video released of her in church. As I stated on my community page, you can weigh the video many ways. Everything's up for interpretation. Everything's about interpretation, what you think. But as I stated on the community page, what do you see in the video? What is missing from the video? What is the truth pertaining to Summer Wells? Where is Summer Wells? So much to discuss pertaining to this child. Really watching the video is sad because I'm always saddened when I see pictures and videos of people who are no longer living. It bothers my spirit because it's verification that he or she had life in him or her. And watching a child run about is even more disturbing because a child should still be here to walk around, to laugh, to play, to be a child. And now Summer Wells is nowhere to be seen or heard. So we don't know what to think. We have our perceptions of what we think happened or going on, but we don't know the full story. And that video is creepy to me only because she's nowhere to be found. So we have to sit here and interpret what is it that we're actually seeing in this video of her in church. What is the truth? I will bring you that commentary later. I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank the mods on deck. God bless all of you. Please stay safe. Bless the Queen on her trip to Louisiana this week. God is good. I cannot wait to get the hell out of here. If only you knew. Like they say, if these walls can talk, Queen ready to go. And she getting out of here too. She getting all the way out. Thank you all so much for following the content. Donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App, please. And I'll see you guys here in a little bit. And the subject will be the Summer Wells video of she in church and the pastor's comments pertaining to the case and disappearance of Summer Wells. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless you. This is Everyday Shenanigans.